Riff and Russ.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Riff and Russ.
What's up, Russ? How are you, brother?
Woo! I'm great. It's been a bit.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a busy season for me. I'm moving so much around. I am like trading a ton of my stuff to kind of turn this into it. This room is going to look different in like 6
I can see all the boxes in the background.
Yeah, I'm trying to kind of turn this into like a production room.
Okay.
Where I almost want to have like a green wall, have some editing bays back here. Honestly, I might even like rent it out to some creators if they need like an editing space and equipment and whatnot. I have so much. So
nice.
We'll see.
I dig it.
Yeah. But my lighting. I don't know why my lighting's bad. I got a ring light right there, but don't ask me. Let's get into the topic.
Let's get into the topic.
What is it?
Well, we had such a fun discussion last episode. Yeah. If you guys listened to that, a $100 game challenge. We're given a console for free. We had to purchase games for it up until $100. And we thought we'd bring that back, but going digital route, kind of with new gen stuff.
More like the digital modern age, because it was pretty much, let's be real, that conversation, it wasn't called like retro collection, but it kind of is the only option when you're talking about collecting, you know what I mean?
Right. Just because of the prices.
Exactly. Yes, you can collect new, but everyone knew we were going to pick like retro consoles, So,
right. And then that brought up the debate, like, okay, if we're going to do new consoles, like some of these games are $60, $70, and that's it. You're done with the challenge almost, unless you get a game on sale.
Yep. So Russ, let's start it. You got to get a console of your choice, and you get $100 to spend on games. What are you going to pick?
So
what are you going to pick?
I chose the Switch.
The Switch, I like it. That's a good answer.
Since I play with that mostly. I do have a PlayStation as well, but always gravitate towards the Switch. And the top of my list was the Switch Online. It's $20.
So $20 years ago to Switch Online, and that's for the full year, which is a great deal. And of course, now the new one also comes with a bunch of Nintendo 64 games, Genesis games, and that one's $69 or $60.
That one's $60 for the year if you wanted to get Sega Genesis games and the N64 stuff. I just went with the base $20, and you get Nintendo, Super Nintendo.
So you would say for this challenge, you would opt out of the $60 one.
Right, because you get enough retro stuff with the $20.
Got it.
And I felt that was fair, and I would put the money towards other games essentially instead of just almost topping out just with all the online stuff.
Yeah, true. And you could make it last longer, right? You could do it for multiple years. Heck, you could say, I'm going to put my $100 towards the next 20, 40, 60, 80. I shouldn't know about 5 years. You could have it for 5 years with this challenge,
Right, and you're set for a while, and they are still adding, new games here and there for the Nintendo and Super Nintendo. So that's always exciting, where you're like, oh, looking for something.
And I feel like a lot of people who aren't retro like us, I see people complain when they drop a lot of the games. But there was people complaining when they dropped Vice Project Doom. I was like, hello. That's an amazing game. I get that a lot of the people that were, are subscribed aren't necessarily retro gamers. So they're looking at this as like, what is this crappy non-Nintendo party Nintendo licensed game,
Right.
So yeah. All right.
Nice.
I like it. So that's that. Okay. So for mine, Russ, I know we can keep going, and this is kind of going to be a weird one for me because I know you just put $20 in and we can kind of keep adding. For me, and I know this is like the answer nobody wants to hear, but honestly, it would be my real honest answer is I would take an Xbox. It doesn't matter which one. Obviously, if I get a pick and they're giving me it for free, I'd go with the newest Xbox One X. And I would just do Game Pass. And I know that that's not for everybody. And technically, you don't get to keep these games. I totally understand that they're not yours to keep.
Right.
But for $100, you can pretty much write it out for, about a year or so. It depends which plan you want to pay. That's why it really matters what plan you want to go with.
Okay, I see.
For me, I know Riggs just did a video on it as well, but it's like, it's so bittersweet because we're retro gamers and we're collectors. And we want to have these physical items.
Right.
But I think it's because of the amount of games that they give you. If it was just like 10 or a couple, I'd be like, I wouldn't really think this is well worth the money.
Right.
But even if it's just lasting you a year, you are getting hundreds of the best games. And I think the big important part for me about Game Pass is it's not giving me like just games that have been out for years that have on the Xbox 360 or even the Xbox One. It's like Halo Infinite's dropping, boom, there it is. Gabo just texted me right before that, like they were announcing some GTA San Andreas, a definitive edition people are buying. And he's like, wow, it's literally free on Game Pass right now, day one. And they didn't even tell anybody, you know.
Wow. Okay.
Battletoads, when it came out, the brand new Battletoads came out day one. It's just, hey, there it is, you know, and you can do what you want with it. So for me, on a personal level, yeah.
With the Game Pass. Yeah, and that brings up a debate of like,
Totally.
do you wait to buy the games like when they come out, or just hope they come to Game Pass and you're going to play it there?
I think that the big thing about it, the seller, and Riggs talked about it again. I actually edited his video on it, so that's why. But I think what was important, what he said, is that you get to play, like, we love indie games, right? A lot of indie games are very inspired by a retro style game. So obviously we're going to gravitate towards them. But he's like, even though these games are only $20 a lot of times to buy, he's like 90% of them you probably weren't going to buy and spend the $20 just to test it out.
Right.
You know? So he's like, when you're playing these, if you love it, you can just go ahead and beat it, run through it, whatever the 8 to 10 hours that most indie games kind of take in that realm. And, you know, you got your money's worth, you know.
Absolutely. No, absolutely.
So, yeah.
Sweet.
So that's pretty much ride out Game Pass as long as I can would be my answer. So
fair enough.
I'll definitely have more opinions to go along with what you're saying, because I like where you're going with the Switch, which would be probably my second choice too, by the way. So
nice. Yeah, the way I broke it up, I picked an array of games on here. Definitely getting like a collection would help you out, so you could have multiple games. So on top of my list is the Bioshock Collection for $20.
It's only $20.
So you get Bioshock 1, 2, and Infinite on that.
Wow. I wonder how long, I should have pulled these up before. I wonder how long a Bioshock game typically takes to finish. You know what I mean?
Funny is, like, I want to say I streamed all 3 games. Like, that got me into streaming. I had never played these games until literally like 2-3 years ago. I ended up picking it up on the PS4 when it first came out, the collection. And, I fell in love with it. I was kind of put off with the first person aspect of it, but I got used to it, and I really enjoyed the story and everything. And there's a lot you can dive back into that. So you could definitely get a lot out of that collection.
You can. And I think that's super smart. And it's a hard subject because, right, this topic, like you said in the beginning, like my brain would be like, yeah, I want to pick Nintendo Switch, but some of my favorite games, I wouldn't even be able to get 2 of them for $100.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm actually running through Mario Odyssey again right now, my second time going to complete it. And I was playing it today, and I literally told my son, he was just like, Dad, this game is fun. I remember when you beat it the first time. And I literally thought to myself, I'm like, this is one of the best video games I've ever played. Like, it's just such a good video game. But it's so sad because in a situation like this, I mean, you're capped out. I mean, what is it? $59 with tax. You're looking at, we should do it next time. We can shop online and do, like, what do we get it for on OfferUp? What are the listings on OfferUp or eBay? You know what I mean?
Right.
Get a little bit cheaper. Get a little bit cheaper. So yeah, but you're looking at, $65, $70.
Right. And that's what it is with all this list here. When you see the games I'm telling you that I'll purchase, none of them are going to be AAA titles. No Marios, no Zeldas. They're all just too expensive.
And that's hard because Nintendo is a banger for their AAAs.
Right.
And I know that there's people that are like, oh, PlayStation has better ones or Xbox has better AAAs. But I'm the kind of guy, if I had to pick AAA titles specific, I'm going to go with Nintendo.
Right.
For sure. I mean, it's not even close for me. Because all the AAAs that are on, like, Xbox exclusives or PS5 exclusives, I'm not in love with them. I like a lot of the big games, but they're available cross-platform.
Right.
So I can pick either or.
Yeah. So it doesn't hold true as well.
Doesn't really matter. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right. Let's see what else you got.
This game, it came out. I actually played this one on the Wii U. and really enjoyed it. And it came out on the Switch. I do have it physical, but digital, you can purchase it as well. And that's Guacamelee.
Ooh, Guacamelee is a great game.
It plays pretty much exactly like Metroid, but you're a luchador. That makes sense.
You are a luchador. Yeah, we called it Guaca Ricky for a while when it first came out.
Ricky!
So, yeah, we called it Guaca Ricky. Yeah, and here we go again. I played it on Game Pass.
Nice. So it's on there. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess for my turn, I'll just say a point because I've kind of been, I'm not really making picks at this point. But so again, I went on the eShop store today.
Yeah.
And I was browsing around and being a longtime Game Pass subscriber, I probably had it for, 5 years at this point. I was going through the eShop store, which I haven't gone through in a really long time. And it was crazy because I'm talking a lot of these video games are included in Game Pass.
Nice.
And I'm just like, wow, like if I didn't have Game Pass, I wouldn't really feel like I'm missing out on it. But now that I have it,
right,
it is almost tainted video games in the currently releasing video games. It's almost tainted purchasing them for me, it sucks. I admit that it kind of takes away my collecting aspect of it. But at the same time, it's like, I can't imagine going to GameStop and like when I was with Gabo when he bought Demon Souls and he paid $69.99 with tax, $75 for one game. And my brain was like, no way. Like, I just can't. I can't imagine it. You know what I mean? Even if the game's amazing and it's worth it and you get, 20 hours out of it.
Right.
That's worth your time. But I think Game Pass it's ruined me. That's a thumbnail. Game Pass ruined me. Yeah. Ruined everything I ever was as far as current gen. Obviously.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. Going retro, like you brought up before, we like these new games that look retro.
Totally.
Bloodstained Curse of the Moon.
Yep, that's a good game.
$10.
$10.
Yeah, 10 for the first one. Yeah.
Wow.
That plays just like Castlevania, essentially, on the NES.
Sometimes you can hop on those digital shops and they're having like these flash sales, and you're like, this game's like $1.99,
Well, that was one of my tips that I was gonna say. Definitely check out like sales. I usually go in the eShop and go to like best deals, and you can sort by price. I usually do $10 to $1 and see what pops up. There's a lot of like $1, $2 games and that are on sale. Or I always end up adding stuff to my wish list, and then you'll get that email like, one of your games is on sale that's on your wish list, and you're like, sweet.
Technology, man, it's gotten us. No, but that's a really good point. Is these flash sales or wish lists or whatever it can be mind-blowingly cheap sometimes, especially when a lot of times you look on those things, you're like, oh, it's a bunch of garbage, right? It's a bunch of crap. But every once in a while, you're like, wait a second, this is like a really good game that's on here. I got one a few years back called like Wispy something on the Switch, and it's kind of like a Kirby knockoff platform.
Oh, okay.
Like an 8-bit Kirby knockoff.
Yeah.
But I really liked it, and I literally think I got it for like 99 cents.
Oh, so yeah. I was like, I got a few games like that I enjoyed.
It's actually good, and that's always the shocker, right? Because when you spend that money, you're like, is this gonna be okay? I think go ahead.
I got one on my list and say I'm looking here that was $2.
Let's hear it. Can I hear it?
It's Ghoul Boy.
Oh, that was it. I thought you were going to go somewhere. Ghoul Boy.
Ghoul
Land or something.
Maybe the sequel. But it's almost like a Ghost and Goblins-ish like platformer you play as like this little boy who's a knight and his dad got kidnapped. You have to go save him. And it was good. $2. Definitely got well worth $2 worth out of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't remember what other one. Broforce I got there really cheap one time, which was a really great game. And what is it? Oh, I remember this. I think I've heard you talk about this game too. Astro Bears.
Oh yeah, I was gonna add that to my list, but I would have went over budget.
Yeah, I got that game a long time ago for like nothing, and I was like, "This is gonna be so stupid. Graphics are cheesy." And I was sitting there, I'm like with my son, and I'm like, let's play like one round. And about about 4 hours went by and we were still playing.
It basically is like the game's like Snake, like if
Yeah.
you had it in your phones, you're
In like
running on a planet and you have trails and it keeps
what
following
do
you
what
and
do you
growing.
call that view? It's like third person, but like on a sphere.
Right, very very unique, and the music is catchy.
School. Yeah, yeah, really, really addicting if you're playing with friends, because it's one of those games where it's so quick that it's almost like the game doesn't have to be perfect. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just for a good time.
Yeah.
A game that's a little bit on the different spectrum, not as cute.
Oh,
this came out in '93. They re-released it on the Switch.
okay.
Pick it up for $5.
Ooh, what is it? What is it?
It's on pretty much every console ever made.
Okay, give me a hint. Come on, let's see if I can guess it. Ghosts and Goblins? No.
It's scary.
Okay.
It takes place on another planet.
Metroid?
Nope. No.
No, you idiot.
First came out on the computers back in the day, so computer game.
Alone in the Dark?
Doom!
Oh, yeah, okay. Dang it. Yeah, okay.
Dang it.
Yeah.
Pretty awesome. Yeah, they have 1, 2, and 3 you can get on there. I just chose the first one just because I remember playing it so much classic. I actually played it in my grammar school. They put it on the school library computers. Wow. And we're like, what is this?
our school library game was Bomberman.
Really? Nice.
Yeah. And it's funny because I remember I was in computer class and I would just pretend like I was doing my work, but I was playing Bomberman the whole time.
Yeah.
And this is like during that couple years of my life where I was like not a gamer because I was cool for like 2 years of my life. And I would still play this game and like not really tell anybody. But the computer teacher told me that one day he came over, he's like, just so you know, I know you've been playing it and you hold the highest score here. And I was like, woohoo! So
nice.
I was a closet gamer for like a year and a half of my life. So, so yeah, I think it was at the peak of my skateboarding time,
Well, there you go. Gamers and skateboarding go together.
Yeah.
I did add something on here, which I don't know if anyone would overlook, but I wanted to include it in the price of this challenge, since it's $100 game challenge.
Okay.
You're buying all these games digitally. You're gonna run out of space, so a micro SD card.
What a cheating answer, but I like it.
I got a 128 gig one in my Switch right now. So on Amazon, $18 for that.
Wow, it's crazy how cheap like gig storage is in these like micro SD cards, but how expensive they can be when you buy them like as the big blocks for your computer.
Right.
It's like $18 for 128 gigs. And I go to my computer and try to get like 500 gigs and it's like $400 for this nice one. I'm like, what? Like,
are you kidding me?
Yeah. So, but yeah, I like that. Yeah. I think, if I can, because I know I've kind of bounced out of this with the whole Game Pass stuff, but if I was buying digital stuff, again, going with the cheap games, again, I don't have an exact number. Sorry, because I just went with Game Pass. But if I did, I would pick, I think one of my top games would be Super Meat Boy.
Oh, yeah. Another like quick platformer. Try again.
Super quick platformer. It's one of those games, like I said, where on this one, the mechanics are great. Even though I said earlier, you don't have to worry about that stuff when it's so quick because people just, I got to get in and got to get more.
Yeah.
Super Meat Boy was, it was a really big deal when that game first came out. I remember it was like really praised. I feel like it was like in that stage of, what was it, Xbox 360 years, maybe? I can't remember exactly, but we're like,
pretty sure
indie games became like, they were starting to get shine. Like it was like the early stage of like, hey, let's give them some shine on like the storefront and let's show them their games a little bit more. I remember Super Meat Boy and like Fez were like two of the big.
Right. There was some documentary, I want to say, that had both those games in it that I watched.
That's probably why I'm thinking of it. Indie something. I think it's just called, and I think the logo had like a little Super Nintendo controller hanging or something.
Right. Yeah. Because I remember watching it and I was like, wow. I never personally played Super Meat Boy, but I watched so many videos of YouTube and I was just like, this game's really awesome.
Yeah. And it looks cool. Hard as well.
Right.
Everybody says it was hard as nails, but I'm telling you, the Lord has gifted me with one area in my life, and it's like platformer type games, you know.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
so that's where I'll hold my candle right there. But yeah, that I think that's when indie games really started to come into fruition. So it was really cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
I did add some other games you could check out, which count towards this challenge. Rocket League, it's free.
Rocket League is a fantastic. I got banned from Rocket League.
How do you get banned from Rocket League?
I don't want to say. I'll get offended.
Oh,
I'll get someone mad.
You get me banned. I just downloaded the game today.
That's why I don't want to say. I don't want to get anybody in trouble. I know how the world we live in. People get mad real easy.
I've only played it a few times. Funny enough, I played it at my friend's house on PS5.
Yeah,
but he's like, yeah, it's free to download. Like, you can just try it out. It does have like in-game purchases, which you can get, but
they got me.
You know, if you want your
microtransactions,
microtransactions.
Because when you're playing with your kid, you know, it's, you know, oh, that's a cool skin, Dad.
Right.
You know, and he's like, $5. What am I, rich? And I'm like, okay, you know, like, I got you, son. You know. So.
Yeah, I added that one. I did add. Well, I'll mention it's not on my list.
No, go ahead.
But Fortnite is also free. Wait, come back. I won't play it. We already had this debate before how we both hate Fortnite.
It was weird. I heard that and I like saw cringy teenagers outside my door when you said it. No, I'm just kidding. Honestly,
it's free. It's quick and fun. I imagine.
Let me make it clear. I've never said that I hate the game Fortnite. I hated the mantra of the kind of people that were. It just became really. It reminded me of like TikTok kids played it.
Right.
So
with the dancing and all that, yeah.
Yeah, it just felt like, and then the worst part, all these kids are like, "Hey, did you know you can dance? That's crazy. They're so like inventive. They made you dance in games." I'm like, or you could dance in like RuneScape on the PC back in the day, you know, like they're not
Little
reinventing.
Did you know?
Yeah, kids gather around. I got to tell you a story. If we're going a free game route, I got to throw my hat in the ring for Paladins.
Is that like the Super Smash Brothers ish type game?
No, I forget what that's called. Caleb was just talking about that from Phoenix Resale, but Paladins it's an Overwatch clone.
Oh, that's right.
And I know Joel from Media Glitch really loves that game too as well. There's a few others that I've seen playing it a lot as well. I can't remember another YouTuber's name. We're really into it. One of our buddies, but yeah, it's an Overwatch clone. But I personally love the game. I have about 300 hours into Overwatch. And then gotcha. I found Paladins, and I probably have like 600 to 700 in Paladins.
Wow, really? That much?
Yeah, I would say for the past, not this year, but I'd say 2019 and 2020, it was by far my most played video game of those years.
And it was playing like online with other people?
Online competitive, yeah. And then I started playing it maybe like 5 months ago with Corbin and Amy from Cheap Finds Gold Mines.
Yeah.
And then they got obsessed with it. You know, they were like texting every night, like, hey, hop on. So we were playing together, but it's just an Overwatch clone, but I think I actually like it even a little better than Overwatch.
Okay.
I went to Blizzard a few years ago with a buddy. And when I left the cafeteria, you know, full of like 100 Blizzard employees who made Overwatch. And I'm like, Paladins is better. And I ran. It was funny. They knew I was kidding, but you know, so. Well, I wasn't kidding, but they knew I wasn't trying to be mean. So
right. Yeah. Give him that jab.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, that had completed everything that I had listed.
Nice.
It brought me to $99.94.
Wow. Okay.
So right under. I had two other games and I ended up taking them off. But I did put on there was $20 was the Castlevania Advance Collection, which just came out.
Oh yeah, that's great.
And I haven't played any of those games, so I think that would be a good pickup. So I put it on my wish list. Maybe it'll go on sale, and we'll grab it for $10. And then I did put Among Us on there. It's only $5, and I know
I only played Among Us like twice on a phone.
Right.
When my kid and his like friends were like, "Hey, play us," and I was like, "Okay."
I'm not sure if I could get into it, but I figured it's a $5 game. It's really big right now, and you can play with a lot of people online. And if you're already, paying $20 for the Switch online, then you can play with your friends online with that.
I almost wonder if I did the Switch thing, if I would not do what you did, I might go for the $60 one and then like maybe, I don't know, man. That's
And
hard.
just get
That's
like
hard.
one other like big name game, like a
Yeah,
maybe a
but then I still
$30
wouldn't even
game.
be able to. I still wouldn't even be able to afford one of the big AAA's. I just can't imagine owning a Switch and not owning Mario Odyssey. That's like my comfort food for
Right.
the Switch. My comfort food for Xbox right now is Skate 3. That's my like end of the day. Not even thinking. Just like throw it on, tray flip, crooked grind a couple rails, and go.
Right. There you go.
It's weird.
I was going to bring up, since we are talking digital, some gripes with that. We're definitely going the way of the digital, and you're doing this challenge with that. You're buying these games, and the only thing I wish you could do is like, say you wanted to borrow a game, I can't lend you my digital game.
Yeah, and that's the hard thing, because even you said you're buying these digital games, but you're not really even buying them. It's like you're being loaned, giving access to play them, so to say. But it's hard because the only reason I actually want to own physical games, right?
Okay. Yep.
Is because I have an attachment to owning them physically, right?
Right, from collecting like NES and all that.
Yeah,
So
like back in the day, I held them, so I want to hold them. So I feel like with this new generation, it doesn't bother me as much to not hold Paladins, let's just say, because I've never held Paladins. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So it's almost like all these new games, like Cuphead, like it would have been awesome if I would have got it digital. I didn't, I'll be honest. And I know they had a kind of a digital version.
Yeah.
I said digital version. Wow. Okay. That's on the Russian website. You can find it. No, but yeah, like, I never held Cuphead physically in my hands. So I don't think I necessarily need to have it. And I talked about this in a video before when I did a video with Retrobird about physical games versus disc. Cartridge games versus disc
games.
I just don't really care about discs. You know what I mean? And again, that might not be for you, but like, I don't know. Even if you gave me Final Fantasy VII in the box, I'm like, I get it that it's cool because it's worth something, but I just don't. Discs don't hold any like merit for me, and that's just a personal thing.
Right. Just you're more of the cartridge, the beefier Mevia. Well, like Mevia. Now both some tongue twisters here. No, I enjoy the cartridges because you can put them on the shelf easier. You can't display a lot of loose disc. You're enjoying that box art that the disc goes into.
Yes, the box art, absolutely. Of course, always box art.
Unless you go the route, Gannyman ended up picking up this Final Fantasy display piece where the discs go in and an acrylic glass goes over it.
Oh, I saw that in your video.
Right.
And that was your video,
that's
right?
Cool. Yep, that was.
Yeah, okay. I was like, I saw that, but where did I see it? Oh, right here with you. That was a great video, by the way.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, go watch Russ's last game hunting video. It felt, I'm gonna be honest, it felt like the mainline episodes of NES Pursuit.
Nice.
The mainline ones, not the ones we've been doing with Rob.
Expansion pack.
Yeah, it felt more. I really liked it. I enjoyed it. But yeah, something about if you could find. I'm sure there's got to be people have these 3D printed companies where they make these awesome ways to display your carts, right?
Right.
There's got to be something ingenious out there to where you can display discs where it looks good, right? Because of course there's the folders and there's whatever.
Right.
But
the
I have yet
binders.
to see a disc collection where I'm like, dude, that as a display piece looks cool. If anything, it's always like, oh, that thing in the corner, that little folder, it's all dusty. Yeah, the discs are all in there. You know what I mean?
Right. We'll have to talk to Discart. He's all about displays and game rooms and stuff like that. Maybe he has an option or heard of something.
I don't even think I ever realized his name. Disc cart is a disc and a cart.
In a cart together.
I never realized, when you like things you put in your head, you're like, oh, that was obvious, Yeah, I don't know.
Nice.
But last bit of fun news, Russ. Since we're chit-chatting, the dislike bar, apparently it's going away.
On YouTube, really? You can't dislike anymore?
They said they're taking it away.
They're like, you could only like videos.
Well, you can dislike a video, but it won't show up publicly. So, what's even the point? like let out some aggression,
Jeez. Okay.
Yeah, I saw Billy did a video on it. That's why I heard about it first, and he was like raging, yelling. So
Interesting. Yeah, like lucky enough, I don't have too many trolls that are disliking my video. My ratio is usually like 50 likes and 2 dislikes or whatever.
yeah, same. Dude, let's be real. They're not doing it for the little creators. They're like, yeah, it's for the small creators. It's not for the small. It's for all these big brands and big media networks that are getting more who gets the most who breaks records for the most dislikes on videos? YouTube themselves.
Right. Oh yeah. With their video that went out for the
all the politics right now. Everybody's like, shut up with the politics, like this and that, and every other minute. And they're the most. I mean, they're literally like 3% likes at this point.
Wow.
I talked to 6 YouTube employees the other day, and they were telling me that they're like, yeah, we know why they're taking them away because they're trying to save face for all these big companies, the politics, all the propaganda right now in the world. So they're just like, everyone's fed up. It doesn't even matter which way anybody sits. They're just like, enough, stop, we're done. So, but yeah, it's crazy. It's gonna be weird. It'll be interesting, I guess, yeah, you just let out some rage and click the dislike, but nothing will happen. I think it's still here right now, though.
So if you guys want to dislike this video, then
unless it's still,
go either or.
Unless it's still active,
Oh,
no, yeah, either. I think engagement counts as engagement still, right? On YouTube, is that still a thing?
That's the way I looked at it. Whether they're hitting dislike or they're like leaving you troll comments, I try to respond because I'm like, you're giving me engagement. This is actually helping my channel.
Totally. Yeah, it's a weird thing, and yeah, I guess if it helps the channel, it helps the channel. The best is when people.
Quick shout out, say it. I just hit 9,000 subscribers, so. Dun, dun, dun.
I like it, Russ. Yeah, you're a legend on YouTube to me, bro. You're among the original. I just realized I can't scratch myself without people noticing because I'm zoomed out. So sorry, everybody.
Look away.
I felt like just chilling from a long distance today. So but yeah, good for you, man. Russ. That's awesome. But you deserve far more. It's the algorithm at this point is playing against you or something.
I know it. It's like I have so many debates like, would it have been better if I started a new channel instead of keeping I started the channel like 11 years ago. Like, did that hurt me? I don't know.
It's hard to say. It's hard to say because you have seen YouTubers up and then die and then come back 10 years later or whatever, 8 years later under the same name and they blew up, or vice versa. I've seen other channels that were amazing since day one and they just never got good. And there's they followed every YouTube algorithm class you could take, every thumbnail class. They're doing everything right, and everyone who sees it likes it for the most part. That's the world. Not everyone's going to like everything, but it's like, YouTube just never gave it the push,
Right. So we're waiting. I'm trying to hit 10K by the end of the year, so we got a little over a month. So I need to get 1,000 more.
You got to do something crazy, bro. Just something viral to go nuts. Just go do something completely inappropriate somewhere.
Well, I usually go, polar plunging.
Oh, that's right. You do that. Yeah,
that's in January, usually. I don't know if it's cold enough in December. Maybe if we get a good snowstorm, I can do it.
I've never heard someone say, I hope that we get a good snowstorm so I can go in the water. That's not what you normally hear people say.
Right. Do it for the views.
Just don't let your newfound wife see you without your shorts on once you take the polar plunge.
She said she'd be there with hot chocolate.
Whatever it takes to get it back to normal.
I told her last year I did it. We had some snow, so I ran to the beach quick. And I told her I literally left my car running with the heat on and ran to the water, ran in.
Got it.
And I was like, I hope no one steals my car because I'm going to come out soaking wet and have no ride.
Oh my gosh. Oh yeah. You might die out there, Russ. I've been taking like really quick, intermittent, freezing cold showers. I was watching I watch a lot of health guys and they were saying that's like actually really good for you to do that. Like, of course, there is a time and a purpose for the long hot shower and the, relaxing the muscles. But they were saying it's actually very healthy, like once a day to just get like that freezing blast of cold water. And I didn't even really listen to the science. I was like, oh, okay. I watch this guy all the time. He's ripped. So, yeah. So I'm in, yeah.
Nice.
Really did the research on that one there, Riff, So. But yeah, Russ, I like it, man.
Appreciate it. Well, yeah, if you guys enjoyed this one, do hit the thumbs up and subscribe. If you are not already subscribed, we got weekly videos, Riff and Russ episodes on Saturdays. Guys, thanks so much for listening. As always, I'm RussLyman, and keep your world fun bit by bit. We'll see you next episode.